Ford says he wants to build a tunnel under the 401? What the hell is this guy going on about? And while that stupidity is going on, Mark Carney finally revealed how projects will be picked for Canada's air quotations energy superpower list must meet the highest environmental standards. Well, I guess new pipelines have just gone completely out the window.
Minister Carney, can you spell out with some detail how exactly projects will be chosen for the list and by when, and when will we know about them?
So, several things. First, there will be review. The projects, we discussed a number of projects today. They're in various stages of preparation. They're in various stages of preparation. I think there's a shared understanding based on our discussion of the main criteria for consideration. I listed them. They're in the communique. I'm not going to repeat them given interest of time. We will work with project proponents on assessing projects relative to those criteria. As those criteria are increasingly well understood, in the national interest, Indigenous participation, example, advancing clean energy, material benefits to Canadians. As those are increasingly well understood, building the resilience of Canada, strategic economy of Canada, autonomy of Canada, more projects will come forward. It's not like the gate doesn't come down all of a sudden. Projects will also fall by the wayside because they won't necessarily meet all this criteria. It's a living list, but what's being clear is what's being put in place, or what is being proposed, will be proposed in legislation, is the ability of the federal government to devote the right resources to these projects, to make quick decisions about those projects that respect our environmental responsibilities, other responsibilities, work with the provinces directly to move forward and to get the country building. That's what we're talking about. Moving the country forward, building the country. I think it says it somewhere behind me. That's what we're here for. That's what we're committed to. That's what the focus of the discussion was today.
Well, to anybody in the oil and gas sector, you better be ready, because it does not sound good. Sounds like they're going to siphon billions of dollars into random projects and just hope one of them eventually sticks. On top of that, Larry Brock destroys Stephen McKinnon so bad, Stephen might as well just retire at this point. It was actually embarrassing.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister just handed the keys to his government to Marc-Andre Blanchard, Trudeau's UN ambassador and now his chief of staff. This is the guy who wants to invest in killing oil and gas and do it.
Would the member like to rewind a bit into?
From the top?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister just handed the keys to the government to Mr. Blanchard, Trudeau's UN ambassador, now his chief of staff. This is the guy who wants to invest in killing in oil and gas. Where are the claps? And do it through Brookfield. Right. Who else worked at Brookfield? Anyone? Well, it was the Prime Minister himself. Why is the Prime Minister surrounding his government with Trudeau loyalists who want to shut down Canada's energy sector? And is that why he still refuses to publicly disclose his Brookfield assets?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, we welcome the appointment of a new Chief of Staff in the Office of the Prime Minister. Mr. Blanchard is a great public servant, a great Canadian who has had a stellar career in the private and the public sectors, and we welcome back to public service. And as for the Prime Minister, he follows, as all members must, the most stringent code of ethics for elected members in the world, and the Prime Minister will obviously continue to comply with all of the rules.
Hear, hear. Honourable member for Brantford, Brent South, Six Nations.
Not just the energy sector under threat, it's public safety too. While the Prime Minister's new Chief of Staff is hell-bent on shutting down oil and gas, he's also brought back David Lametti as Principal Secretary, the same failed Justice Minister.
Pure bias from the speaker here, not doing a single thing to stop it as they keep interrupting him over and over again.
If the member can start from the top on that.
Lacking in competence against the same minister that they fired. This is the same minister who gutted bail and pushed soft on crime bills like Bill C-5 and C-75 that they all voted for. And laws that helped unleash chaos on our streets, drive violent crime up 50%. Is the Prime Minister really doubling down on the same Trudeau insiders who always put criminals over that of community safety?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
There seems to be a very odd fixation on the personnel decisions in the Prime Minister's office. The obvious accountability is done in this House, as the member well knows, and he can ask any question that he wants to any minister of this House without impugning people that aren't here. But Mr. Lametti, for his part, a great former parliamentarian, a great Italian-Canadian, a distinguished person who is entering public service. These people should be celebrating that great Canadians are prepared to step up and enroll for public service and serve Canadians.
We're fixating on the personnel decisions because you guys have been here for the past decade and nothing has changed. We're calling out a terrible track record that has been on display for the past decade. The previous government, which you were a part of, walked back its own damaging policies to the country. And now the same people that implemented those policies are still running it. That's why people are concerned. That's why people are focusing on personnel decisions. Anyway, I want to know what you think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you are new, and thank you very much for watching.